What up, everyone? Pat Mayo here with your quick picks for the 2021 Waste Management Open on DraftKings. Super tough week to figure out on DraftKings. Everyone seems to be appropriately priced. It's a very strong field, and there's only 132 players in the field at TPC Scottsdale this week. Last week we had 156, so really jamming through 6 of 6 meant a lot. We're going to have unless one of the big and high-owned names misses the cut, we're going to have a large 6 of 6 percentage, and that, with more people making the cut by percentage than usual, we're going to see a lot of stars and scrubs lineup. So you take a look at the very top end players in this field, and it's really hard to make a case against any of them. I think Xander Schauffele actually has the safest floor of all of these players, although John Rahm has never finished worse than 14th at this tournament. He's also the most expensive guy. So you get the second most expensive guy in Xander, who's come inside the top 25 in 22 of his past 24 events. And it's now been a full calendar year since he actually missed a cut. In a highly volatile sport like golf, it's tough to find that floor. Yes, he's going to be incredibly popular, but you can start your teams there. Frankly, this is a game theory week if there ever was one. Just taking the lowest owned guys with so many equal-ish options at the top end might be your move. Right now, it does appear like Justin Thomas and Rory are going to be lower owned than the other three guys in the $10,000 range. I do think that Xander is your safest play, though. In the $9,000 range, when we work ourselves down, Hideki and Berger line up really well. I prefer Hideki over Berger in this spot, but I can't stop playing Ryan Palmer at $9,200. Yes, he is overpriced, but he's playing so well right now, and he's a good pair up if you go with John Rahm at the same time, because they both tend to play well at the same tournaments. But the putting has been a real revelation for a historically bad putter. He's 12th in this field over the past 24 rounds. He's gained in 5 straight, and he has some very high-end finishes here over the course of his career, and frankly, he's never been playing better than he has at this moment. Passed on Harris English and all the good work he was doing, and he breaks through for a win. Palmer is on the exact same path right now, and I don't want to give up on him just because the price is up, so I like Ryan Palmer in this range. So Hideki, Palmer, and Will Zalatoris if you want to go there. Now, because there are so many good names, quality names, now more name brand names and actually playing well names in the 8K range, you could theoretically not take any of the $10,000 guys, start in the 9Ks, then drop straight into this range. The 3 guys, let's call it 3.5 guys, because one guy I don't really know about, but Bubba, Brooks, and Ricky all play well at this event. 2 of them have won here before, and this is the tournament where Bubba Watson has the most top 10s in his career without a win. And the lack of fans, you'd think, probably only helps out Bubba. $88, $86, $8,500. That's pretty good. Matthew Wolff is the big outlier here. He withdrew last week with a hand injury, and maybe it's because it was cold out. Maybe because there was a delay. Maybe because he was well out of it at the Farmers Insurance Open. But he has no ownership coming into this week. So I want to get a status report on where he's at. I don't have that as of yet, and we might not get it because this is golf and this is what happens. But with almost no ownership, Wolff is the type of player who has the perfect skill set for this course. If he can figure out his driver. No idea what's going on with one of the best drivers on the planet, but his approaches have been top-notch, and we know that he can spike with his putting in any given week. Then we're out of the 8s, we're into the high 7s. And you have one of 2 ways. You can eat the chalk, and you can go with Corey Connors and Max Homa in this territory. I like them both. I prefer Connors a little bit more, and by percentages, as do the people. But if you really want to get tricky here, and this is what you can do. You can take 4 the most popular guys and either play Jason Day at $7,800 coming off a horrible week, or Cameron Champ at $7,600 coming off of 2 horrible weeks in a row. The weather is not going to be frigid, at least per golf standards, like it was, and wet. So Jason Day with a back problem didn't play well in terrible conditions. That's not super surprising. Yes, he's going through a swing change, but he's still Jason Day, and he's going to be like 1% owned in tournaments. He is your key. Don't use him in cash games. Don't use him in 3-max or single entries. There's no need to do that. But to differentiate your giant GPP teams, that's somewhere where Jason Day can come in handy, and I feel the same way with Cameron Champ. It's almost like you play these guys every single week because you know that they have win equity. Are they going to miss the cut a lot? Yeah, absolutely they are. But, what's really the difference between bubbling out of the money on DraftKings in a giant tournament and coming in dead last? They both win 0, so you might as well take your shot at the top and play for ceilings when we're talking about the giant $5, the giant $20, the giant $12, the giant $8 events where you need to beat, tens of thousands of other players. These type of players with their upside, well, they have an incredible amount of downside. If they hit that upside, they're going to separate you from the rest of the pack. If you want to go a bit safer, just drop to the bottom of the 7s. You got my main guy, Johnny question marks, John, continuing to play well. This guy makes the cut every single week, and people don't want to put any respect on Johnny question mark's name, but I love him this week at $7,200. Other than that, Sebastian Munoz, severely underpriced at $7,100. He should be in that $8,000 region, so I like him a lot. Then if you want to pair up your stars and scrubs, you can go with as your last man in. You can go with Sebastian Munoz as your last man in, or those two guys at the bottom as your last men in your lineup. Or if you do want to play stars and scrubs and get Rahm and Xander, or Xander and Rory, JT and Rory, or put Rahm into one of these lineups together, then you got to go to the very bottom of the 6,000s. And there's some decent options down here. Will Gordon, $6,300. Keith Mitchell, $6,400. My guy, Patty Harrington, who's kind of like the even cheaper John at this point. Coming off a 6th overseas last week. He's made 5 cuts in a row. $6,200 for the 3-time major winner. And I don't know, what is he, like 80 years old at this point? But hey, he's making some cuts. He's only $6,200, and he allows you a lot of access to that top end in your lineups this week on DraftKings. You can check out my cheat sheet up on DKNation.com or head on over to the Mayo Media Network YouTube channel for a full field date breakdown where we talk about every single player this week on DraftKings. Thank you all for watching. Good luck. We'll see you next week.